she's due for some TLC. There's a lot of work I'm going to do to get her cleaned up and get some improvements made. And hey, awesome first time out. But in the meantime, still a list of stuff that's going to be done, and get her working and looking even better. Okay, that's a wrap. Back aboard little girl, high and dry. It's so weird. Now that I'm on her again, and she's up on stands, I feel her moving. It's the craziest thing. Oh, dear. You know what? It just makes me long for getting her back in next summer. But in the meantime, she's safe and sound, high and dry, and like I said, we've got work to be done. So, guys, thank you for stopping by at Restoring and Sealing Little Girl, and look forward to a couple of more episodes to come. Take care. Bye. Here we go. We'll get this stupid light off. Shut that thing off. It's too bright. Well, guys, been exactly 27 days since I got little girl out of the water. She's up on her stands. We're on the hard. And I'm back. I wrapped all this thing up so fast at the very end that there's much that I left undone, and I'm so glad to be back down here on the Cape. Got a truckload of work, particularly interior. I mean, I've got this. I originally was going to get this boat out of the water on Thursday of the week that we had been in for a week already, and it didn't work out because of motor problems, and so I ended up having to get her out on Friday. Well, by the time I got her out on Friday and got back to the house, we had to make a beeline out of here. And we did not stay the night. We went ahead and got on the road Friday evening, pretty late. And in order to get back home, because there was just a whole lot of stuff I needed to get done back at home after being gone a week and a half. So, long and short of it is, I am so glad to be back because little girl is going to get completely cleaned inside and outside. Weather depending, I think Tuesday I'll be able to completely wash her down, get all the salt off, wash her bottom down. I just want to get her cleaned up for the winter, and get her cushions back on, cushion covers. I took those off and washed them, and they're going to go back on the cushions that are stored on the boat here. And the biggie, I will call this the egg trip. I cleaned all the food off from here that was perishable and totally forgot I left, I think it's not a full dozen, but almost a dozen eggs sitting in one of the cubbies up in the V-berth. That's not good. Well, right now, good news, it doesn't stink. So right now, as soon as I hang up from this, I'm going to go get those eggs off of here and get them in the trash. So, hey, guys, glad to be back. And got a lot of work to do on her this winter. I have found some things, and we'll share that with you tomorrow. But in the meantime, thanks for stopping by. Sealing Little Girl and Restoring Little Girl. So right now we're back into restoration mode, and we'll pick it up tomorrow. God bless. Good to be back, and we'll catch up with you first thing tomorrow morning. Good morning, guys. Back aboard Little Girl. And let me get this turned around. Well, here's what we got going for today. I got a lot of cleanup to do in here this morning, and even if it rains, that's part of the plan. Just going to go ahead and spend the day under the tarp as much as needed. I definitely need to get back in that Lazarette. I got a bunch of stuff back there that just needs to come out. Stuff I never used when we had her in for a couple of weeks. and it needs to get out of there. Got some rope and stuff that needs to all get pulled out, dried out, just a bunch of stuff. And then also today, I got a text from Marlene Sazienko this morning, and she's one of the former owners of the boat, and she's got a box of stuff for me. Not only does she have the match paint that they use to paint this boat, which is awesome. Trying to get a match these days without having the original is next to impossible. Anyway, so I'm gonna go pick that up, and also in that box of stuff, she's got a brand new cowling for the foredeck, and the one that's on there is shot all to pieces. I mean, it's working, it's functional, it's but it's I'm just really happy to get that. She told me about that the morning of the launch, that she had it, but just this morning she found it, and texted me first thing, and I got right back to her and even proposed that my wife and I grab lunch with her. But I think she's a real estate agent, so she's going to be really busy today. But in the meantime, she's given us her address, and so we're going to go over and pick that up and probably grab some lunch over at Olive Garden. Guys, it's that's cool stuff. I mean, I'm just really glad. I'm very blessed to have really good previous owners that cared enough to come to her launch. Even I had 3 of those previous owners, as you saw in one of the earlier videos. So anyway, okay. Well, listen, it's getting late. It's about 7:30 right now. I'm going to go back in there and grab some breakfast, and then we'll get out here and do some cleaning. And around lunchtime, I think Sharon and I will head on over and pick up that box from Marlene's place, and then probably go grab some lunch. So, all right, guys, good to see you this morning. Glad to be back aboard. Oh, I got one more thing, and it's on the way. I'm not going to be there to pick it up, but on the last trip we did, the trip out to Martha's Vineyard, my clock, my marine brass, really lovely brass marine wall clock, tide clock, completely gave out. I don't know what happened. I changed the battery. Nothing works. And so I have ordered a brand new Weems and Plath clock that matches my Weems and Plath barometer. Weems and Plath is a really, really good quality. They just make great equipment. And my barometer has been working perfectly ever since I got it. They're a major, I guess actually they supply stuff even to the United States Navy. That's how much their quality is respected and used. So anyway, that's on the way. That's going to be something I'm going to do in the next What's New Corner when we get back up on the Cape and pick it up. Back up in Vermont and pick it up. It's going to be delivered up at our house. So, all right, we'll catch you guys a little bit later. So I just cleaned out the Lazarette, with the exception of the engine and the gas tank. I bought this for the boat to do a boom tent, which we never did. Anyway, cheap rope. Don't ever buy this garbage. It's the stuff you can buy over at Home Depot. It's garbage. It may look nice on the outside, but inside it's just garbage. That I'm going to keep up here because I've got work I'm going to tell you about later. Something that needs to be done as far as the deck fittings and a leak that I think I've got going below because of them. Also, if you're cleaning out your Lazarette, one thing, just don't ever store these cans of boiled linseed oil, paint thinner, or acetone. Don't ever store them in the Lazarette where they're going to be subjected to seawater. Duh. That's what you get. So anyway, I got to go put these down below in the cellar for the winter. Going to use the boiled linseed oil. I got some stuff I want to do with that. But, all right, this brand new fire extinguisher can go down in the cellar for the winter, but that's brand new, and that'll go right back in here for next summer. All right, that's it for now. I've got to get all this stuff cleared out, moved into the basement, and and just move on. We're going to be leaving soon to go over to Marlene's to pick up that box of marine supplies and my new cowling and my paint for this boat. So let me get this stuff finished up, and then we can get on the road. Picked up this bin of boat supplies from Marlene, and in there was this, and this is the color for my boat. And I looked at as soon as I saw the smudges on the side, I said, yep, that's my boat. And the cool thing is, it's Pettit Easy Epoxy, and it is 3348 Jade Green. Guess what? They still make it. So all this time I've been completely wishing I had some sort of touch-up paint. Well, I now not only have touch-up paint, and by the way, this is uncut. In other words, this is straight-up paint, and it's still liquid after all these years. I don't know how long ago that boat was painted, but there it is. It's Pettit Easy Epoxy, topside paint, and good news. Good news. If I ever need to buy any more, you can just get it right straight from Pettit, or probably West Marine for big bucks, whatever. All right, good news. One little thing to add into this video. I'm back up in Vermont, and I got my brand new Weems and Plath clock. I opened this earlier, and I put it back in just because when I tried to record this with my GoPro, the GoPro didn't take, and I feel totally cheated. And I'm redoing this with my good old steady cell phone that I've been recording everything with. So let me see if I can get this out of here without getting popcorn all over the floor. There we go. And there it is. I'll tell you what, this thing's been running perfect time ever since I set it up. And you'll see from how this is set up that this is exactly like my Weems and Plath barometer. Same setup with a nut over here. This opens. Let me go ahead and take it out. Here, let me just see if I can get this out with it. Okay. Alright. So this is set up just like the other one is, so that everything is completely contained and waterproof. You take undo the nut, it spreads out like that, then you can just open this up. Let's see if I can do this with one hand. Come on, baby, come on. There it is, okay. With one hand, and there you go. And the battery even came with it, okay. And we put the battery in, and this is a retainer that holds the battery in place. And the cool part of this thing is, right here, this is all rubber all the way around. This is a gasket, so that no moisture can get into this thing once this thing is closed, and you don't need to worry about it. If this even if this got salt water sprayed all over it, it would still be waterproof. And I guarantee this thing is going to run like a top. And it'll be the perfect match, opposite bulkhead to my Weems and Plath barometer that I've already got on the boat. I'm loving it. Nice little, really good, very dependable marine clock with the regular time signature on it, as well as your military time from 0000 to 2400 hours. And yeah, loving it. So anyway, I'll take a picture of this and put it right alongside the one I've got my barometer, and you can see how they're just a dead match, except one is a barometer, one's the clock. So cool as it can be. Well, we're back from our lunch, and then picking up the stuff from Marlene's place. Before I finish cleaning out the Lazarette and cleaning the cabin, I've got one job I want to do, and it has to do with a leak that I've got on the port side over here. When this boat was tied up on the mooring, and we had the cushions on here and everything, I got a leak, a pronounced leak in one place, and it's right underneath my electrical panel. And I know what's going on. I'll show it to you in a minute, but basically I have a Fairlead up on the deck, right along the kind of the catwalk that goes beside the cabin here. And that Fairlead, I'm absolutely positive is what's leaking. It's right down through there, right into the box where the electric panel is, and there was water dripping out of the back of that. So we're going to take that apart right now, check it out, clean it up, probably pull the Fairlead and recaulk. And I've got my Boat Life caulk out here on the boat, and see if we can't do something with it. It's probably delaminated in there too, but for right now, let's just go ahead and get started on this, and I'll show you what we got going. All right, so this is the electrical panel, and it's only in by 4 screws. Yeah, that's 12.6 right there. That is the voltage of my 12.5, 12.6 of my new deep cycle battery when it's not been, that's just standard procedure right there. So let me get this undone here. We got to take a look inside. I am almost positive we're going to find moisture in here, and let me get this in place. Oh, there it goes, there it goes. All right. All right. It's dry as a bone. It is dry as a bone in there for the moment. Okay. Well, let me feel around some more and see if I can feel any place where the water's gotten in. Huh. That. Okay, this doesn't have anything to do with my voltage. This is an old wire. Okay, there's a set of old wires in here. Okay, good. that came off from the last meter. All right, so it's all good to go. Get this back in place. Well, I don't know what it is then. That's really crazy. Get this shut off. I don't know where that water's coming from. If I had a way to... All right. Let me leave this out for a moment. Just, I don't get it. It's got to be from up and behind this. Okay. The thing is, that box, this cubby right here. I got it. I got it. Wow. Long screws. Okay, I'm going to stop for a minute. I'm going to go check out down below, see what we got. Okay, so I finished unscrewing those screws up there, and as I did, I heard 2 things drop inside this cabinet. And there they are. There's the nuts that went to the back side of them. So those screws do go through to the inside of the front of this cabinet. I wasn't sure that they did. But what's happening is, and if you look at this, you look at the pattern inside this, moisture that's running down through there is going right to that back corner and then running along here, and that's actually a channel, and it goes all the right there and drips out. And that's what was dripping on the cushion covers. So that is the where the moisture's coming from. At least that's what I believe. It's the only place I've got anything going through the deck. And anyway, so here is the old Fairlead. And boy, you talk about worn. Can you see that? Look at that. That has had a jib sheet running through it so many years. I dare say this is probably an original 50-year-old jib sheet Fairlead. And I cannot believe how worn that is. Look at that. Anyway, so what I'm going to do, for the moment, I may buy new ones, but for the moment, what I'm going to do is going to go ahead and recaulk everything up there. And interesting, when you go ahead and keep the light on in there and come up here on the deck, let me see if I can show it to you. If you can look right down in there. See, there's light down in there. See that? Yeah, you're looking at it. So that is the inside of that electrical cabinet. And that's where the moisture has been going down through right there. This caulking is long gone from being pliable or even useful. It's I'm going to just go ahead and clean it all up and give it a brand new bedding. And put the screws back in, put the nuts back on. And for now, I'm hoping that's going to be it, so we don't have to worry about where that stinking leak is coming from. I've had a leak on this port side, and I knew that was one of them. There may be another one, but for right now, we're taking care of this one. But look at that, see that? You see, there's one of the wires right there, down inside there. Kind of cool. All right, we solved that mystery. Well, we're coming to the end of our Monday here. I've got the Lazarette all cleared out. All the supplies I had back there, everything's been moved downstairs for the winter. I've gotten all of the water. I had 4 gallons of nice, clear, fresh water to be used on the boat while we were out on the water, which we use maybe 1.5 gallons, just for some coffee or whatever. But yeah, I emptied all those and got those off the boat. I got that Fairlead pulled off and caulked and put back, and we'll have to wait and see if how watertight it is. But I mean, hopefully that's going to solve the problem of water getting down into the cabinet behind the electrical. It's not doing any harm. The electrical is all high and dry above that, where it's dripping down. But I know it's happening. Like I said, it's dripping down, then it's just all channeling back to that one corner and then dripping through into right above where my cushion covers, my cushion was. And very irritating. The cushion covers have all been taken off, cleaned, and they're ready to go back on the cushions as soon as we get the little girl ready to put to bed. No pun intended. I'll clean the seats out here. I think we're pretty much done for the night. I'm going to get in there. We're going to be eating supper pretty soon. The one thing I do have to get off here tomorrow, and I'm not messing with it now, I've got a whole bunch of foodstuffs that I had saved aside for the trip. I only ate 2 or 3 meals on board, and I didn't go through all the stuff I was planning to. When I mentioned... when I mentioned to my brother the things I was planning on cooking, he just kind of turned up his nose. So I said, okay, well, I guess that's not going to work. So anyway, okay, so we're going to get things wrapped up here, get the little girl all buttoned up for the night, and we'll come back out here first thing in the morning and start getting the rest of these foodstuffs off. And I'm anxious to get her all the stuff off from her that needs to be off, and then I'm just going to go through and totally clean everything. And anyway, hey guys, it's been a good productive day, and we'll see you in the morning. Take care. Well, good evening, guys. Here we are at the end of this first of 2 videos, and I just want to touch base on a few things. First of all, I want to thank everybody for their response on all the videos that I put out during the launch, the raising of the mast, the shakedown on the vineyard, shakedown on the sound, and the trip out to the vineyard. Those videos got more hits than I've ever gotten. And so I want to thank you guys for doing that, especially the 2 that really got the most were the raising the mast and the shakedown. Shakedown, I think, got the most with 100. I think we're up to 100 hits. Look, for me, that's a lot. Okay, a lot of these video channels, they get thousands of hits, you know, because they're very popular and so on. So anyway, but I want to thank you guys for coming in and watching the videos and kind of staying with me through this whole series. Now, when I started doing these next two, the one you're just finishing up now and the next one that's coming out, and I realized that we're really right back into restoration mode here. And as I looked at them and the way that they kind of develop and the things that I talk about and everything, all I can say is I'm just amazed that I've got, I think I'm up to 97 subscribers now. That's a lot for me, you know. And all I can say is thank you to all you subscribers. I really, really appreciate you coming by. And I hope you stick with me. I mean, I realize that the big deal is to finally get her in the water and go through all the amazing 2 weeks of you know, leading up to and through the time that I had her in the water and sailed her and so forth. And that's the fun part. I agree. But I just beg you, stay with me, because we got a bunch of really cool stuff coming up this winter. We're going to finish out the centerboard. A lot of work to do on that. As I'm going to be using the grinder and feathering edges down so I get nice kind of a clean, smooth taper from a nice, not sharp edge, but an edge all along the fore and aft of the centerboard, so that when I finally install it, the water will flow nicely around it. That's one of the things we're going to be doing. We're going to be making a new sail cover for little girl. I've got my brother's sail cover as a pattern, his old one. I'm going to be doing that, and that's going to be another whole project. And there's other stuff coming up, but that'll do for now. Just letting you know some of the things we've got going. And again, thank you guys so much. And I know we're not in the water and we're not sailing, but I ask you to just kind of stick with us, and we'll have some fun. And hope you enjoy this this video. I've got one more after this. Basically, these two videos are all about getting her back up on the stands at my folks' house, and all the truckload of work that I had to do to put things in order and get things back to where we're back on an even keel, no pun intended, to begin working on her again for this winter. So with that, I'm going to say thank you for coming by. Been a huge blessing. You guys have just been so appreciative and complimenting, and yeah, appreciate it so much. We'll catch up with you, probably one more finish up video at the end of this next one, and in the meantime, thanks for coming by.